All right, everybody. This is my final speech. Collective sigh of relief. That means graduation is right around the corner. And for this last one, I'd like to talk to you guys about something following up of the last speech I did, which was the informative about the history of wrestling and what have you. And for this one, I'd like to talk to you about maybe giving it another shot if you've maybe seen it and thought, oh, that's dumb, or, I don't watch it, it's ridiculous. So, I'm not trying to force anything on you. I'm just going to tell you some information, maybe help you guys if you have any interest of watching it, maybe pick back up on it, see what it's like. And to get that ball rolling, I got a question. Why do we watch TV? Simple answer. We want to be entertained, right? Well, parts of entertaining is a good story, nice characters you can get behind, impressive sequences and things that you see in a TV show that are like, oh man, it's so cool. Well, contrary to how it's been over the past handful of years, that's still very much alive in the world of wrestling. Back in the 80s or so, we had great, awesome storylines, like everybody on planet Earth remembers Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. We all remember it. All of us old enough to remember it. But there was great things in that. There was great storytelling. There was wonderful characters you could get behind. There was characters you could just hate. We didn't start out hating Andre, but boy, by the end of it, we hated that guy. And we all collectively cheered when the big old Hulkamaniac picked him up, slammed him on the mat. That was an impressive thing. It was great storytelling. I was watching WWE the other night. I don't usually do it, but I gave it a shot. And the most interesting storyline that they had was these two guys are fighting because one got caught shaving another man's back. I wish that was a joke. Unfortunately, it is not. So anybody jumping in on that would kind of be a little bit confused. You'd look at wrestling and be like, wow, this is still really insane and I should probably not watch this. That's okay. I'm not going to fault you for thinking that. But on the flip side, I'd like to tell you guys about something else that happens across the pond. Recently, my favorite storyline to come out of 2019 so far, it is from another country, but it's all in English if you ever have an interest in watching it. It was a story between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada. Now, Tanahashi's the old guy, he's the older guy, he's the ace, he's been there for years. He held the company whenever it needed to be held up, and for that, he's kind of like the savior of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then you got this new guy named Kazuchika Okada, who is the up-and-comer, but a legend in his own right. As far as the history books tell, he is the greatest champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And they had a storyline about who would be the real ace. And maybe on paper that doesn't seem right. It kind of seems a little bit boring. But when you look at it, it was more than just, one guy versus another guy. It was, a dying breed, so to speak, the last of his kind, facing the new generation to come and trying to fight the battle with that. He ultimately lost, the ace did, and it was a sad thing. I'm a big fan of him, so it made me real sad. But to see such storyline culminate in one giant event that lasted 30, 40 minutes was a fantastic thing, which is about the average length of an episode of TV. So, with wonderful characters like that, that tell great stories and do amazing things in the ring, because, that is part of being a wrestler. You have to be able to put on a spectacle and weave storylines through the things that you do. And if you look at things like action movies and TV shows and stuff like that, they do the same thing. It's a big storyline that they have. Big fight scenes maybe in some action movies where a story is woven into that fight scene even. So you watch TV like that, which is entertaining in its own right, and then you flip over to something like WWE, who's got really strange things but are trying to do the same formula. And you know, it's not my cup of tea. It might be some people's cup of tea. That's okay. But I'm saying that if you were to drop in on that and see it and maybe be turned off by it, I don't want that to be the end of the journey for you. Because believe me, as somebody who is deeply in love with this form of media, it is a wonderfully strange place. And if you just give it one last shot, maybe somewhere else, maybe somewhere a little bit off the beaten path. I mean, we do it all the time. We'll sit and watch Netflix and scroll through the related shows and whatnot to see if there's anything good that may be lesser known. But it turns out to be a good gem. There's gems like that with this. However, at the end of the day, I do know that, you know, wrestling may not be for everybody, but why not give it a shot? Give it the one last best foot forward and see if you like it. So, thank you guys for listening to me and listening to all these other speeches, and I'll see y'all around.